being picked the last with pen name Hope Silver gives me the right to say that I'm your last hope. At the age of 7, I went to school in a small Siberian town named Tomsk, and I was the youngest in the class, but I had the biggest head. And that's why I immediately got the nickname from the older boy from different class, Arbuzная башка, which is, bashka is a derogatory term for head, which was very offensive, and it's translated as watermelon head. And every time when I heard it, it was just very upsetting. And the only comfort I found later at home was my grandmother's patting me on the head and saying that it's just silly boys, and I have the big head because I'm smart, and I have a big future, whatever. It's just she made up for me. And one day in winter, when my head used to be even bigger because Siberian winters are rough, and I used to wear layers of different hats to protect myself. It almost killed me because we had this fun activity with my friends to run, like chase each other on the garages. We climbed up on the garages, and in summer you see these gaps between the garages, but in winter it's just one snowy field. And just running on the garages, I stepped in one of these gaps without seeing it, and I fell down, but not completely, because I got stuck with my head between these two garages. My friends tried to help me, but they were little, like 6 years old, and they said, "Hang in there," and ran for help. And then my superhero showed up, 66 years old grandma. She climbed up on the garage. One of them were wooden, one of them were like made of metal, and she started stomping onto the edge of the garage so it would bend a little bit, and I would fall down. But before she showed up, I had the worst case of scenario in my imagination. Like my head is almost like is about to separate from my body, and I've been waiting like for maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes for her to show up, and I just imagining the scariest things, and I thought that's it. I didn't know I can, I'm gonna die. I thought maybe I'm gonna be just in two pieces, and but she showed up. She saved me, and later there was a movie, The Head of Professor Dole, and I started reading a lot, and I read the book which the movie was based on, and it was about one professor who was able to live just with a head. It was just one head, and a little bit later than it happened, I've been watching this movie, thinking about this moment in my life, and thinking how I was able to hold it together for like 10-15 minutes, and I thought, if it happened, who would take care of my head? But there was one person who I'm sure would take care of my head. She gave me a chance to feel myself a child until I turned 44, because my grandmother lived up to 104 years old. We had 60 years apart. And she used to pat me on my head even when I was adult. It was the most comforting moments of my life. And now I have a daughter, she's 20 years old. I named her after my grandmother. And when she is upset, I pat her on her head, and I hope that this moment she will remember even if I'm not around.